Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the mountain ranges of Africa and Europe. That is the second video in the series of mountain systems of the world. If you remember, in the past video we have discussed about the mountain ranges of Americas, North America and South America. So let us try and continue about the mountain systems of Africa and Europe. So first of all, the second most important mountain ranges in Africa after the Atlas that we have discussed in last video, we have to understand about the DRAKENSBERG mountain system that is located in the southern region of Africa, encompassing the countries of South Africa and the landlocked small countries of Lesotho. If we try to understand, this is the range, DRAKENSBERG mountain range, that extend all the way from north to south in the eastern coast of South Africa. Actually, if you try to understand, the DRAKENSBERG mountain is not a separate mountain or individual mountain range, but it is considered to be the eastward extension of something that is called as Great Escarpment. Great Escarpment starts somewhere from the Cape Town region of South Africa and then goes all the way up to northern regions. So this is whole region is called as Great Escarpment, and this part of Great Escarpment is given the name of DRAKENSBERG mountain. DRAKENSBERG derived its name from the term that was used by the Dutch, the Netherlands, who was the main country that first of all tried to colonize the South African region. So DRAKENSBERG basically it refers to something in English that we can roughly call as Dragon Mountain due to the shape of its shape of the mountain system. Overall, in the terms of length, it extends for a distance of almost 1000 kilometers from north to south, and the highest point or peak of this particular mountain is in the country of Lesotho. Here we can see a small landlocked country, Lesotho is there. In this Lesotho region, we have a Mount Lesotho, where the peak is called as Thabana Natelniana. That is at the elevation of 3482 meters. That is the highest point of DRAKENSBERG mountain. Apart from that, as we were discussing earlier, if you look at this particular map, you can see this whole region is called as Great Escarpment, and the red portion is the DRAKENSBERG mountain. The DRAKENSBERG mountain is a type of young fold mountain. Young fold mountain is something, the mountain that has formed due to upheaval, upliftment or upward movement of the sediment due to compressional forces, and young means it has developed in last 300 million years. All the mountains that has developed in last 250 to 300 million years are categorized as young mountain. So similarly, DRAKENSBERG mountain has started to develop somewhere around 180 million years ago due to an activity, a volcanic activity that is referred as mantle plume. So let us try to understand briefly about how mantle plume has led to formation of DRAKENSBERG mountain. So it is believed that initially we have, suppose this is our African plate, it was joined with the Gondwana land around 180 million years ago, and below this plate we have emergence of a plume-like magma from the mantle core boundary. This is our crust, this is the mantle region, and this is the core region. So from the mantle core boundary, we have upward movement of a magma in a plume shape. Plume shape is kind of, we can say, look like roughly an umbrella shape or mushroom shape, we can also say. And as this magma reaches the crust region, it applies an upward pressure. Due to this, the plateau has become uplifted, and also due to the volcanic eruption, some amount of magma has deposited on this plateau, leading to formation of a mountain-like structure. So that is how this particular DRAKENSBERG mountain has formed. It is similar how Deccan Plateau in India also have formed when India was passing over around Reunion Island, where the mantle plume emerged, lead to an activity that is called as hot spot activity. Culturally, the DRAKENSBERG mountains region has been a habitat of a tribe of Africa that is called as Bushman tribes, and Bushman tribes have or are believed to have painted in these caves of this mountain system, and this painting is believed to be around 20 to 30,000 years old, and the painting has been termed as San cave painting. There are more than 30 to 35,000 paintings are there in this San cave of DRAKENSBERG mountain that depicts the daily life of people, daily life of the tribals, hunting scene, gathering scene, as well as the animal motifs are also described there. So that is the cultural importance of DRAKENSBERG mountain. The second and the third most important mountains of Africa is something that is called as RWENZORI mountain. If you try to understand on the map, the RWENZORI mountain, this is the location of RWENZORI mountain, and it is located at the border of Uganda in the west and Zaire in the east, and then extend all the way up to Democratic Republic of Congo. So we can say roughly the mountain is located between Uganda and DRC, that is Democratic Republic of Congo. People used to call this mountain as also the mountains of the moon. Now this is very interesting about mountains of the moon. This term originates somewhere in the ancient time, when we have a lot of Greek and Roman geographers used to visit these areas, and they wanted actually to find the source of River Nile. So for very long period of time, it was difficult to find from where River Nile originates, and the many geographers, including Ptolemy, they thought that it is this particular RWENZORI mountain from which River Nile has originated. And since the upward region or upper part of this RWENZORI mountain was always covered by snow or glaciers, that is why the local people used to call them as a moon due to its white color. So that is when the name Mountains of the Moon came into picture, after the Ptolemy has described this as a source region of River Nile. In terms of the geological origin, the mountain is of a block type. Block type means it has developed due to the faulting or the folding of the rock system. Faulting or folding refers to a situation where rocks over a large area of a plateau over a continental landmass either goes in downward direction or moves in the upward direction, creating a break in the continuity of rock. This break leads to formation of mountain like a structure, and the age of mountain, it is very new mountain that has just formed 3 million years ago from now. The main reason behind the disturbance or behind the faulting of the rock can be understood as the process that is called as continental divergence process, where the African plate and the Somali plates are kind of drifting apart from each other, diverging from each other, and that is why we have a block mountain and valley-like formation. The extent of this mountain is almost 120 kilometers in length and 65 kilometers in width. The highest point of this mountain is something that is called as Mount Stanley, which stands at the elevation of almost 5,109 meters. That is the RWENZORI mountains. The next important mountain, which is also incidentally the highest peak of Africa, is something that is referred as Mount Kilimanjaro. If we look at the map here, Mount Kilimanjaro is located somewhere at the border of Tanzania and Kenya. However, the largest section of Mount Kilimanjaro is situated in the Tanzania. The highest mountain of Africa, it is a freestanding mountain with maximum elevation of 5,895 meters and has 3 different peaks. The structure wise, this Mount Kilimanjaro is a very good example of a dormant volcano, basically a dormant stratovolcano. Stratovolcano is also referred sometimes as composite volcano, where we have different stratas, different layers of volcanic materials, magma and rock structure like tephra have cemented, and thus have led to formation this complex structure of mountains. That is how Mount Kilimanjaro has developed, which, as discussed, 3 volcanic cones. Apart from that, Mount Kilimanjaro is also a very important place, especially for mountain trekkers, mountain hikers, and people who are interested in having a wildlife tourism, because Kilimanjaro National Park is also situated in these areas, and to the in the downhill, or we can say in the foothill regions of Mount Kilimanjaro, we have this Serengeti plains where we have African wildlife that can be observed. So that is why Kilimanjaro National Park and Mount Kilimanjaro every year almost contribute to the extent of $50 million to the economy of Tanzania by inviting or by attracting tourists. So that is all about the important mountain systems of Africa. Now let us try to understand about the important mountain systems of the Europe. So the first and the most important mountain system of the Europe, which is also the longest mountain system of Europe, is the Alps mountain. Highest mountain system in terms of average height is the Alps mountain, and it passes through almost 8 countries, covering a distance of almost 1,210 kilometers. If we try to understand the extent, the Alps extend from the city of Nice, located on the western Mediterranean coast, and goes all the way up to a city of Trieste on the Adriatic coast in the Italy. If we try to understand the development of this mountain, how this mountain has originated, so Alps is actually a mountain that belongs to something that is referred as Alpide chain. Alpide chain is a long chain of mountain extending all the way from Himalayas and even Arakan mountains in Myanmar, then going all the way to Central Asia and up to Europe. It has formed due to the process of continental convergence, where we have African plate in the south coming toward north and then colliding with the Eurasian plate. Due to this collision between African and Eurasian plate, we have upfolding of the sediments that were deposited in the Tethys Sea. This upfolding of sediments has led to formation of this young fold mountain. The highest peak of this mountain is Mount Blanc, that is at the altitude of 4,809 meters. The Alps mountain has been inhabitable ground for the humans for a very long period of time, and it is believed that the first human habitations in the Alps region were as long, or we can say as old as Paleolithic era. Traditionally, the people inhabiting the Alps region were mainly engaged in activities like farming, cheese making and woodworking, which you can also see even nowadays if you go in the village areas of Alps, especially in the France and Italian region. Now, if we look at the importance of the Alps, so the first and foremost importance of Alps is in the hydrological sense, because though it covers only 11% of the European region, it supplies water to almost 90% of the low-lying regions of the Europe. And not only that, it is also the source of the two longest rivers of Europe, that is Danube River and Rhine River. Not only from hydrological perspective, but also it plays a very important role in from the mineral perspective, because Alps has a large scale mineral reserve. For example, between 8th to 6th centuries, when the region was occupied by people belonging to Hallstatt culture, this region was used for the mining of copper by the Celtic tribes. Then further after that, when Romans came into this area, they actually found gold in this mountainous region and mined gold for minting of the Roman coins, which were circulated widely all across the world, and even in India we can find the Roman coins today. The third, after that, when the industrial development happened, the Alps region were found to be a large reserve of very high quality iron ore, which led to development of very large scale steel industries in this particular region. Not only that, even in the Alps mountain we can find the rock structures. For example, large number of precious crystals such as cinnabar, amethyst and quartz are also found in the alpine mountain system. So both from all kind of minerals we can see in alpine region. However, Alps region can be divided into 6 important mountain ranges depending on the countries in which it is situated. So the first important mountain range of Alps, we can classify it as a Swiss Alp. Swiss Alp located obviously in the the country of Switzerland. Overall, it occupies around 65% of the country's surface area, and the highest point in Swiss Alp is something that is called as Monte Rosa, situated at the height of 4,634 meter. And this area or this particular mountain range is home for almost 1,800 glaciers. The second Alps is something that is referred as Austrian Alps, located in the Austria. It is a part of Central Eastern Alps, and here the highest peak is Mount Grossglockner at the altitude of 3,979 meters. The third series is the French Alps, located in France. Here the highest peak is Mont Blanc. And this region of French Alps is very well known for the alpine lakes, the lakes that are situated at the elevation of more than 10,000 feet, and also because of the moderate climate and we can say in all times of the year. The French Alps are also well known for development of large number of resort towns. The most important lake here is Lake Geneva, and the town of Geneva is situated in Switzerland. However, it comes in the territory of French Alps. The fourth in series is Italian Alps, where we have the highest peak, that is Mount Gran Paradiso at the altitude of almost 4,061 meter. This also is home to Gran Paradiso National Park, which is believed to be the oldest national park in Italy. Then next we have is Bavarian Alps. Bavaria is a region of Germany, and though its height is relatively lesser as compared to the other region of the Alps or other part of the Alps, nonetheless it is considered to be one of the most beautiful landscape of the Germany. And finally we have Julian Alps, that is situated in the Slovenia, where Mount Triglav is the highest peak at the altitude of 2,864 meters, and these areas are very well known for large number of crystal clear water and crystal clear lakes are there. We have a lot of alpine valleys, and also the source of rivers and lakes we can find in this Julian Alps. So these are the 6 major regions of Alps mountain. The another important mountain system of Europe is a small mountain that is known by the name of VOSGES mountain, that is situated at the boundary region of France and Germany. Actually, if you try to understand geographically or geologically, in this western part, we have a mountain that is called as VOSGES. Then we have a valley in between, and on the eastern part, we have another mountain that is situated in Germany, that is called as Black Forest. Black Forest is very dense vegetation rich areas, and that is whole structure looks like. So Black Forest in the east, VOSGES mountains in the west, and in between we have a river that flows through this valley. This river is one of the most important rivers of Germany, called as the Rhine river. So it is not very high mountain, it is kind of low mountain in the eastern France near the border with Germany. It is believed to have formed somewhere between 66 to 43 million years ago in the Paleogene phase or Paleogene era. The structure of this mountain is similar to horst and graben. So horst and graben is nothing but, if we try to look again at this particular diagram, these you can see are the uplifted structure. These are called as the mountains, and these mountains are also geologically referred as horst. So we have Black Forest and VOSGES. These are examples of horst, while the depressed area in the central region, which is a kind of valley in which Rhine river flows through, this is referred geographically as a graben. So we have horst, graben, horst kind of a structure between VOSGES mountain, Rhine valley, and the Black Forest mountain of Germany. The mountain is believed to be formed due to again tectonic disturbance and the faulting in the rock system, where the central part has subsided below, leading to upliftment of the surrounding areas, leading to formation of mountain and valley kind of structure. The next in the series of European mountains are Carpathian mountains. Carpathian mountains again is believed to be the third longest mountain range, extending for a distance of almost 1,500 meters. Before that, the other two longest mountain range are the URALS and the Scandinavian mountains in Europe. If we try to understand the highest point of this mountain, it is believed to be the Tatra mountains, that is situated in the Slovakia and Poland, and it is the highest peak of Carpathian range. If you try to look at this map here, we can clearly see that the Carpathian range is distributed over the countries like Czech Republic, then we have Poland, we have Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania. These are the major countries through which the Carpathian range passes through. Geologically, it is separated from the Alps mountain of Europe by Danube rivers. This is not mountain, this is Danube rivers. It is believed to have originated somewhere in the Mesozoic and Tertiary era, and it is a part of alpine orogeny. Part of alpine orogeny means that the Carpathian mountains also have formed in the same way how alpine mountains are formed, and almost at the same time when the African plate was colliding with the Eurasian plate, that led to upliftment of sediments and rocks in different areas. And due to its young nature, and still the rocks have not been able to become geologically stable, the Carpathian are believed to be most seismically active region in the whole Central Europe. If you look at this map, also we can see that around 50% of this Carpathian mountain range are found in Romania, and in other countries it is somewhere between 10% to 12%. Further, the next mountain range of Europe is Scandinavian mountains. Scandinavian mountains are located in the Scandinavian peninsula that includes countries like Norway, Sweden, and Finland. And if you try to understand geographically, it looks like this mountain system originates somewhere from the southern tip of Norway, then goes all the way up to north, from where it turns slightly toward east, where it is known by the name of Lapland in the Finland region. So that is the structure of this mountain system. In the western side, it is kind of steep-sided mountain, and on the eastern, we can say on the western side is very steep-sided mountain, and eastern side is sloping slightly toward like a gentle slope we have. Due to this steep side of mountain, we have a lot of fjords that have developed as the mountain enters into the Norwegian Sea and the North Sea. Fjords are a kind of structure that develops due to the glaciated valleys. When the glacier moves through the mountain system, they form these valleys, and these valleys, due to the melting of glaciers in the warming phase of the earth, are covered by the water and thus lead to formation of fjord-like structure. The highest peak of this particular mountain system is something that is called as Galdhøpiggen, that is at the elevation of 2469 meter, situated in the Norway. And these mountain systems are very well known for glaciated landforms. For example, we have a lot of eskers you can find, a lot of fjords you can find, and also a lot of glaciated U type of valleys are found in this particular Scandinavian mountain system. The origin of Scandinavian mountain system is believed to be when we have Caledonian phase of mountain development in the history of Earth, when the Laurentian plate and we have the Baltic plate in the east converged together, collided together, and due to this we have convergence of Laurentia and Baltic plate that led to development of this Scandinavian mountain system. Due to this very strong convergence and collision that has happened between these two continental plates, we have a large number of nappes-like structure that has developed into the Scandinavian mountains. Nappes-like structure is a kind of folded structure. Suppose that we have one mountain peak here and one mountain peak here. Due to very strong convergence and collision between these two mountain peaks, what happens that one mountain peaks override the another mountain peak and the structure convert into something like that. So this kind of a structure where one type of rocks or one system of rocks are overlying the other system of rocks, that leads to creation of nappes. So that is what we can find in the Scandinavian mountain system as well. Further moving in the eastern side of Europe, now we have a Caucasus mountain. Caucasus mountain, geographically, if you try to understand, they are divided into two regions. First is called as Greater Caucasus, second is called as Lesser Caucasus. If you look closely, you can find the Greater Caucasus surround areas in the countries like Russia, Georgia, and going all the way in the eastern side up to Azerbaijan. While the Lesser Caucasus surround the countries like Turkey, Georgia, and Armenia. East-west extent of this Caucasus mountain, we can say in the eastern side it originates somewhere from the near the coast of Caspian Sea, and the western side it terminates near the coast of Black Sea in the Russia, where a very famous city of Sochi, well known for hosting Sochi Winter Olympics. The highest peak of Europe is actually situated in the Caucasus mountain, which is known by the name of Mount Elbrus at the altitude of 5,462 meters. Geologically, Caucasus mountain is also believed to be the part of Alpide belt system. As we discussed before, Alpide belt system is a system of mountain ranges extending for a length of almost 15,000 kilometers from the Arakanima range of mountains in Myanmar, then going all the way up to Himalayas, then moving to Central Asia, Turkey, Europe, and up to the French and Germany region. That is the Alpide belt system. So it is a part of Alpide belt system. The emergence and development of this mountain is believed to be again a result of continental convergence, when we have Arabian plate after splitting from Gondwana land started moving toward north, and as the Arabian plate started moving toward north, it collided with the Eurasian plate. Due to this collision, the Iranian plate, that is again a smaller subpart of Eurasian plate, this Eurasian plate and Iranian plate start to have a clockwise movement, and due to this clockwise movement, the pressure has built up at the boundary of Iranian and Eurasian plate that led to development of this Caucasus mountain. So similarly, how the Alps mountain system, how Carpathian mountain system, and how Himalayan mountain system of India have developed, same way Caucasus mountain system also have developed or originated. The last mountains of Europe that we have to discuss about is the Urals mountain. Urals are generally considered as a border between Europe and Asia, lying in the western part of Russia. If you try to understand, it originates somewhere from on the coastline of Arctic Ocean in the north, and then goes all the way up to the river Ural and northwestern Kazakhstan in the south, just slightly northward from the Caspian Sea region. Overall, it extends for a distance of 2,500 kilometers and is believed to be the longest mountain range of Europe. The highest peak of this particular mountain range is something that is called as Mount Narodnaya, and it is at the elevation of 1,895 meters. If you try to understand, these Ural mountains are believed to have a very strategic important point, because throughout if during World War II and World War I time it was believed that if European countries or any European empire has to attack Russia, then there is only a very small area, small gap is there between Urals and Caspian Sea through which the armies can enter, because Ural act as a barrier and discourages any kind of military adventure or military intervention. The formation of Ural is also believed to be in the same way how the other Alpide mountains are formed. It is due to the continental convergence. However, this continental convergence is believed to have happened around 300 million years ago from now between the two land masses, the continental plate of Kazakhstan and the continental plate of Laurasia. When Laurasia was moving eastward, they collided with Kazakhstan, and due to this collision, the marginal rocks and the sediments have risen above, and thus Urals are a very good example of a fold mountain system, similar like Himalayas and Alps. Apart from that, Urals also have very important contribution in the terms of mineral reserve, and we have lot of different kinds of mineral. For example, we have metal ores like iron ore and copper, the most important minerals that is found in these areas. Apart from that, this region is also very well known for the rich reserves of coal and precious and semi-precious stones like andradite, beryl, platinum and quartz. It is due to this mineral reserves, rich mineral reserves of Ural mountains during the Soviet Union time, especially between 1930s to 1940s, lot of iron, steel based and heavy machinery industries were established on the eastern flank of Urals, so that it can be we can say prevent when the Nazi military, especially the Nazi government, or we can say Nazi Germany, was planning or staging an attack over Russia to prevent the destruction of its industries or key industries. It was situated, all the industries were transferred and we can say situated near the eastern part of Urals. And it is this region, the mineral importance of this region, why it was a very key element in the Nazi planning of Hitler, where Hitler wanted to take this whole eastern part of Urals and thus destroy the steel and other heavy machinery industries and thus weapon manufacturing capacity of Russian Empire. So that is all about the mountain systems of Africa and Europe. In the next class or in the next video, we'll come again with another interesting topic, that is the mountain ranges of Asia and other regions of the world. Till then, take care. Thank you very much.